What's going on, everybody? We are live. The last WNBA regular season slate. We got the playoffs start on Sunday, all four games on Sunday, but this is it for the regular season. This is the final nail. So let's go out with a bang. It should be a fun one. Like this slate should be bonkers. So I hope everybody's ready. Lot of stuff that could go on. I would not believe everything you see, read, hear when it comes to starters on teams that are locked in to playoff spots. Uh, these coaches will straight up tell you everything but the truth. Like they'll tell you everything you want to hear except for the truth. And that's the most disappointing thing. I'll go through all of these scenarios. I'm going to wait a few minutes, but let everyone kind of roll in. Go through all these teams and what personally I'm doing, what I think they're going to do. I could be wrong. Like, it wouldn't shock me. Like, some of these teams, nothing would surprise me. But a lot of these teams, I feel really confident in what they're going to do and how they're going to go about rotations, everything like that. We'll probably at like 38 minutes before slate lock, I'll go through team by team, kind of give my projected starters and what I'm kind of thinking. So that'll give people like another 6 minutes uh, before the chaos starts. Yep, let's get the Reapers up top. Let's do it. One more regular season slate. Let's get them all up there. You can leave as much salary as you want. I think salary is completely a myth today. It really just depends how much you buy into the value plays. There's plenty of really, really good, clear value plays already with the Aces players. I mean, they're big four. All four eat almost all of the usage are all going to be out. Then you have Dallas, who's without Kieran McCowan. So you got Kalani Brown there, who looks fantastic for value. So there's value plays littered everywhere just in that one game. Then you already have like Ezzy Magbagor out, Fee and McBride out. So that opens up value for Minnesota. You've got Atlanta, like they're really the only team like them in Chicago that I know for sure their starters are going to play a ton. We still haven't got word if Kennedy Carter's in or out. I'm expecting her to miss and not play, but those are really the only two teams like where we know their starters are going to play practically the entire game. And then like it's really just getting the value right. And if you spend up for any players that are not Atlanta players or Chicago players, it's just can they smash in the minutes that they play for the teams that really have nothing to play for. That's why I'm pretty high on the Dallas Stars. I'm against the grain. I think they're going to come in really low owned. But if we look here, Arike Gumbawale is a minutes machine. 38, 40, 34. So remember these two games here against New York. They were losing by 40 at one point in this game. They brought it back to make it respectable. She played 36 minutes. They did lose by almost 30 in this game. Actually, did lose by 32. She still played 34 minutes. She has played over 34 minutes in every game this season. Some of those games she was hurt in. So it's really, really difficult for me to believe that Arike Gumbawale, there's nothing to play for the Dallas Wings, that she's just going to willingly walk to the bench and not care. I think she's in line for mid-30s minutes once again. And then the other Dallas stars, Satu Sabali, Nat Howard, you can group Kalani Brown in that. We haven't seen Big T miss a game yet this season. Last year, it was one of the most profitable days of our group. When Big T was out, Kalani Brown absolutely smashed, and nobody knew who was starting. They didn't announce it before lock. We knew Kalani Brown was starting, and she absolutely smashed. She can smash with Big T out. I'm expecting low to mid 30 or high 20s, low 30s minutes for Kalani Brown. I really like the Dallas team. I could be wrong and lose money because of it. I'm going to have Dallas exposure in pretty much every line. Obviously, like Kalani Brown, but that's including another player with Kalani Brown. Yep. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the regular season to be over. It bums me out. It is definitely the Wild West today. It's going to be a fun one though. Like it's going to be a fun one. I'm really looking forward to this slate. I hope just all hell breaks loose. That's what I'm hoping for. Izzy, thoughts and minutes projections. So Camila Cardoso, they said is a game time decision. She's in street clothes. She's not playing. I'm expecting Izzy to play low to mid 30s minutes. She looks really, really good at her price point. You know what you're getting out of her. She's going to have to play the minutes. And you can't say that for a lot of other players on this slate. So I'm in on Izzy. Who's your pick to win the chip? Minnesota. I placed a bet when I was in Kansas this past weekend for Minnesota to win. So the Aces are looking good. They're starting to click. Looks like Chelsea Gray's getting healthier. I just don't know if they have the depth to make it past New York or let alone get through Minnesota. I just think Minnesota is the most complete team. So I'm going to go with Minnesota. Much as it hurts, I'm a big Fee fan, so and I love that team. So I would just love to see the Aces go get the three-peat. Yep, NBA is almost here. Preseason's right around the corner. We'll have WNBA postseason too, which is always a lot of fun. So thoughts on Phoenix? It's really, really tough to prioritize anyone on Phoenix. DT, it is her last home game. They haven't officially said that she's or she hasn't officially said she's retiring. She's retiring. Only 22 minutes here against the Sparks, though. Keep that in mind. This is probably the minutes that they want to keep her, BG, maybe even Natasha Cloud at. So it's really hard to play anyone from Phoenix. They're gonna look to play Amy Atwell, Natasha Mack, Celeste Taylor, Minka Herbert-Harrigan, and then Mo Billings. Like they could run 5 without touching any of their top 4. Like they could run a lineup like Celeste Taylor, Amy Atwell, Herbert Harrigan, Billings, and Mack. And Sophie get her minutes cut. DT get her minutes cut. Tosh Cloud get her minutes cut. And BG. BG got thrown out last game, played 14 minutes. She was going to be on that 22 to 24 minute range as well. So really hard to get to anyone on Phoenix right now. I think you can take shots on DT because I think she's just going to shoot it. Like it's just what she's going to do when she's out there. Any priorities to play in the early games? Only real interest is Atlanta and Chicago. Everyone else, I think I'm just waiting. I don't want to play anyone from New York, and I don't really want to play anyone from Connecticut, even though we did get news like the starters have no minutes cap or whatever. I don't buy that. I just don't buy that. No news, no updated news, just besides what we got last night from the Aces and Minnesota. So I would not play Caitlin Clark. That is one Christy Sides did come out and say that she's going to monitor the minutes for the starters tonight. So sounds like they're only playing the first half to me. Thoughts on Baby Sobley? I just don't want to pay that price tag for her, even though salary is a myth today. There's just a lot better, cheaper plays that I know are going to play the minutes. Like if I knew that Jonquel Jones was going to play 2 rotations and Baby Sobley was going to play the entire second half, I would have a lot more interest in her because she's a good fantasy point per minute player. And that's what we're trying to target on a slate like this, where salary is kind of a myth. It doesn't matter. You want to target the good fantasy point per minute players that are coming off the bench that are going to get extended. So we need to see more, but I'm probably just staying away. Thoughts on Misha Hanzon? I think she's fine, assuming she starts. I just don't think she's going to play enough minutes to really pop. Like, I think, especially if Dorka's active, they're going to want to get her a little bit of run before the postseason starts. And I could see them grouping Misha Hines-Allen with the starters and kind of pulling back on her minutes as well. Who's the safest team to pull from? It's absolutely Atlanta and Chicago. Those are the two that have the most to play for. Like, Atlanta's winning in to make the postseason. Washington, but they're running like a 10-girl rotation. The best teams to target, though, are like the Aces right now. They have all the value. they look great. Sawtoo or Nat Howard? Sawtoo for me. I just love the upside that she has. Bold of them to oh my, how many drafts are they canceling of yours? That's BS, dude. You can't cancel drafts on a slate like this where either just cut ADP off. Like, there's no reason to have ADP when you don't want to be drafting players that are playing 15 minutes. Like, that makes no sense. Yeah, that's stupid. I'll answer these few questions and then I'll go through all these teams, kind of my projected starting lineups, what I'm expecting, and we'll kind of go from there. Colson or Bantam? Colson for me. Sydney Colson is the best play on the slate, in my opinion. Thoughts on Sewell? I don't really want to go there. I think they're really going to limit her minutes. Reeve is one that she'll kind of screw with rotations on occasion, but she's been pretty adamant on keeping Courtney Williams on a slightly reserved minutes in the second half. I think they're really going to come down tonight. Who are the best players to use from Vegas with the whole team sitting? So give me just a second, and I'll run through all the teams for everybody. I do not expect Tiffany Harris to play a lot, no. Since she's a part of their regular rotation, I'm expecting like 15 to 18 minutes for her. Yep, I think Peely looks pretty good tonight. We need to see the starters. Another thing, like, once we see starters for these teams that have players sitting, like, they may have their starters just not start and just dress so they have enough to technically play and then them not play. So that's something we need to keep an eye on as well. Kate Martin, I think she's going to play more than 20 minutes, personally. Yep, this is the last regular season WNBA slate for the year. We got the playoff slates will start on Sunday. I think Hayes is in play. I just think it's really narrow. Like, her pass to fail are a lot more likely than her pass to be like a slate breaker, in my opinion. I just don't think they're going to play her a ton. So let's run through these right quick. We still have a ton of time. So this first game, Chicago and Connecticut. Of course, I can't look at DK Sportsbook for the Sun game. Let's look. The spread just keeps getting wider and wider. It's 14.5 now, 153.5 total. Obviously, I like some of the Chicago plays. If Carter and Cardoso are out, I think Izzy Harrison is firmly in play. Wnba is fine. I don't really want to play her, actually. Lindsay Allen's okay. I would not play Dana Evans. Rachel Bantam's in play. Bree Turner's in play. They're just going to play their starters a ton. And then on the Connecticut side, I really have no interest. They're going to play their starters enough to probably guarantee the win. So they are guaranteed the 3 seed. But I could see their starters playing like 15 to 20 minutes and then them treading water and playing the backups. And if their starters play 20 minutes, none of these backups are probably going to get to an optimal. Veronica Burton, Olivia Nelson-Ododa would be my favorite two coming off the bench. I think there's a scenario where Mabry could play in the second half and Ty Harris. Those are the two that would probably see run with Bickle, Nadurfal, Burton, and Olivia Nelson-Ododa. Obviously, one of them has to play. Would expect we see some of Harris, some of Mabry. And then Atlanta. Atlanta is a team like that you absolutely must play at least one play from this team. One of the top 4 you should play. I don't think you really need to play Naz Hillman on a slate like this, but Jordan Canada's firmly in play. Alicia Gray's in play. Ryan Howard has a big, big ceiling. And Tina Charles is arguably the best play point per dollar or spent. One of the, geez, I can't talk. Tina Charles is my favorite spend up on the slate. She's the safest spend up. Just because her minutes are super secure and she's going to have to play. They are a winning in. If they win, it does not matter what anyone else does. They make the postseason. So I expect their starters to play a ton. On the New York side, I just don't see them playing their starters a lot. Like, it makes no sense. They've locked into the 1 seed. They've been limiting minutes here lately. Stewie, only 26 minutes last time out. Sabrina, 28 minutes. Her minutes at 26, 25, 28. You got John Quell, 20, 20, 20, 23, 24. I think the starters play right around 15 to 20 minutes. Once again, kind of kills their value. Don't really want to play any of them just because they're probably not going to get enough run to reach an optimal. I think if I had to play one, it would be Baby Sobley just because she's a good fantasy point per minute player. So I think she would be my favorite on the New York side. Indiana, zero interest. I don't want to play one player from this team. If you were absolutely like dead set on playing somebody, it would be like Dantas, and that would be it. She's the best fantasy point per minute player on the bench. I could see her get extended if the starters only play the first half like I'm expecting. Everyone else, like, they're just not good enough fantasy point per minute players. You could take shots on like Grace Berger if you want to. I just don't personally want to go there if she's only going to get a half. And then the Washington side, I think my favorite plays here, Ingsler, Atkins, Sykes, probably the only 3 I'm really considering. I just worry what kind of minutes they're going to play. So we did just got Sun starters. It is normal starters for them. So normal starters for them. Sparks, zero interest. I guess the only player that I would even consider would be Rakia Jackson. I just don't trust what Kurt's doing. I don't want to play anyone here on a 6-game slate. Minnesota, need to see starters. Fee, McBride already out. Imagine the starters are going to be Courtney Williams, Bridget Carrollton, Diamond Miller, or Xandala Assini with Misha Hines-Allen and Alana Smith. If Dorka is out, it does make Misha Hines-Allen look a lot better. Also makes Peely and Xandala Assini look a lot better. But I do want to mention, Afufa is back on this team. She's not in the player pool, but she is back on the team. She'll be out there and available to play tonight. I'm expecting her to play. Not a lot, but she'll get to play some. Then I mentioned Dallas. Maddie looks okay at 5,400. I think she's going to get extended a little bit, but one of my favorite plays on the slate is Kalani Brown, 4,700. She looks probably one of the best plays on the slate, just at her price point. And then the big 3, I think all 3 are great tournament plays. I think the safest is Arike. She's just going to play big minutes no matter what. They also only have 9 available players, so one of the starters will have to play even if they pull all the other ones. If they pull the plug, one starter will play, and they will not play J.C. Sheldon and Sevgi Uzin together. So it'll be one of Kalani Brown, Natasha Howard, Arike Gumbawale, or Satu Sabli. So definitely keep that in mind if you're chasing the late games. Obviously, big 4 for the Aces are doubtful for rest. I saw some people saying they didn't rule them out, like officially out. So maybe they did that just in case Connecticut was to lose. Aces could play their starters. I'm not buying into that. They prefer to rest and be well rested going into the postseason. I don't think they really care who they're going to play. And 3 seed or 4 seed, it don't really matter. They're going to get one home series in the postseason or one series of home court advantage. Then they're going to have to go on the road. I think Tiffany Hayes, Alicia Clark, and Kia Stokes all get around 15 to 18 minutes. I think those 3 start with Megan Gustafson and Sydney Colson. And then I think the whole rest of the game, you're going to see a lot of Kate Martin, Kirsten Bell, Queen Egbo. You're going to see a ton of Sydney Colson, and then you're going to see Megan Gustafson. She's going to round out the 5. I think almost all these players are in play. Kate Martin looks really good at 3,100. Queen Egbo looks really good at 3,300. Colson looks the best at 3,900. I think there's a path to her playing 34, 36 minutes. I think she could play almost the entire game. She's their only point guard. Like, she's the only one that can truly run the point. So Obviously, other girls can bring the ball to the floor and run the point, so that doesn't really matter. And then on Seattle, Noelle Quinn has said she wants the starters to start the game better. Like the start of games for Seattle of late has not been very good, so that's what she's having the starters out there for, is to try and remedy that. I'm not expecting them to play very much in the second half, if at all. But once again, really hurts since the starters are playing. Ezzy's out. Joel Lloyd is questionable. Not really expecting her to play. So that would mean Mercedes Russell and Whitcomb would be starting again. They would probably be the safest because they're probably going to play in the second half as well. So their minutes are the most secure, assuming Joel Lloyd is out again. I think Holmes is in play. I think Vivian's is fine. And then Horston, I don't really want to go there. Then on the Phoenix side, not a lot. I mentioned it just a little bit ago. Not a lot I really like here. I think if you're going to play anybody, if Kalia Copper's out, I think Celeste Taylor could arguably play almost the entire game. 5,200, not the best price point, but like salary doesn't matter, so really doesn't care what her price is today. She's just going to play a ton. I think Natasha Mack is another one that's fine at 5,700. She's a good fantasy point per minute player. If they limit BG to like 18 minutes and Mack plays 25 plus, she can smash. And then DT, like, do you buy into the narrative like Kobe send off where she's just going to shoot it a ton like Kobe did in his last game? Really just depends how you guys want to attack that. I don't mind it, but it's a risk playing Diana Taurasi. They're going to pull her at one point. They're going to call a timeout. They're going to pull her so she gets the hero send-off that she deserves. But it's risky, but there's a lot of rewards if you chase Diana Taurasi. So we got starters for the Mystics. It is the same starters as of late. Camila Cardoso rolled out. Kennedy Carter rolled out. So I'm not surprised either of them. Normal starters for the Fever. And I think I missed one. And normal starters for the Dream. So that's pretty much what I expected from these early games. So all the early games we've got starters for, except for Chicago. That's the only one we're waiting on. And I'm expecting it to be the same starters from last game. Lindsay Allen, Rachel Banham, Oni Enwer, Bree Turner, and Izzy Harrison. So that's what I'm expecting. It could be a little different. We'll see. If it is, we'll make some changes. Uru tonight. If you think she's going to play the minutes that she played last game, I don't mind it. I just don't trust the minutes. I don't trust Kurt Miller whatsoever. 22, 11, 12, 5, 31. Like a big spike. I just don't trust him. I would just rather go elsewhere. Now, if you're making quite a few lineups, she's a good play to win you 5K. If she's going to get 30 minutes, she's a really good play. Is it dumb if you play DTN instead of Alicia Gray? Nope. I think Alicia Gray is far more optimal. Like, she's probably going to be a lot higher owned just because everyone's going to play players from Atlanta. But I think DT is going to shoot it. I think she might take 15 shots. She may only play 20 minutes, but I think she's going to take 15 shots. Martin Hayes or Colson, for me, it's Sydney Colson. I just don't trust Tiffany Hayes' minutes, and I think Colson's a much better DFS player than Kate Martin, especially with the minutes that I'm projecting Sydney Colson to play. Gustafson, I think she makes for a solid play. Not a lot of people are talking about her. I think she's going to play in the second half with the Aces value. Like, I think they're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 available players. I think the 3 that do not touch the floor in the second half is probably Tiffany Hayes, Clark, and Stokes. They may play like one rotation in the second half, but I'm not expecting them to play 20 minutes between the 3 of them, or each. So Gustafson, mid-20s minutes. Colson, low to mid-30s minutes. Egbo, low to mid-20s minutes. Kate Martin, low to mid-20s minutes. And then I think Bell probably plays like 14 to 18. I don't really want to play Kirsten Bell. I would just rather play Martin, Egbo, Colson, or Gus. But I do think, like if you're taking shots in tournaments, like Tiffany Hayes, if she's going to play, like if she's going to play 25 to 28 minutes, she looks very, very good. I just don't believe that's what they're going to do. Yep, Carter is out. I figured that was happening when she was out last game. I got the moonshine out. Let's get it. Yep. Favorite or most optimal guard plays. So for me, it's probably just Colson and Ryan Howard. Like those are the two, like probably going to be the most popular. But those are the two that just stand out the most to me. I really like Arike Gumawale though. I don't see her playing lower than 35 minutes. And if you're telling me for 10.4K, which like I said multiple times, money doesn't really matter today, but it's hard for me not to want to play Arike. What's going on? Thoughts on Ingsler? I think she's a solid play. I think she's going to play low to mid-20s minutes with a potential to maybe get a little higher, maybe play close to 30 since they only have 3 bigs, but 26 minutes in back-to-back games. She's a good fantasy point per minute player, so I think you can go there. I'm not going there personally. Maddie's fine. Coming off the bench, she should have to play quite a bit because they have no other bigs. So it'll be Kalani Brown playing the 5, and then when Kalani sits, it'll be Natasha Howard moving over and playing the small ball 5. So that probably means they slot Maddie in at the 3, Sato at the 4, and Nat at the small ball 5. So that's why I think Kalani Brown just plays 30 minutes tonight, just because they have nobody else. Suarez is out, and then Big T suspended. So Clark or Mac? Mac for me, yep. Tiffany Hayes projection, it's not a lot. Let's look here. What in the hell? It's all out of whack. I have her projected for 20 minutes and just under 16 fantasy points. Do you like Harrison as much as you did last night? Not with all this value opening up. No. I think she still makes for a great play, though. Like, if you're wanting to play players that are guaranteed, like, large roles in their offense, I think Izzy Harrison is arguably the best play on Chicago, and then the Atlanta players. But I don't think she's a must-play tonight, no. Connecticut starters minutes thoughts. I don't think any of their starters play more than 20 minutes. I think it's even possible that they play like 15 to 18. They didn't play whatsoever in the second half of last year. None of their starters did. Let me look up their minutes from last year. From the finale. So last year, they started DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, Tiffany Hayes, Rebecca Allen, and Natisha Heidemann. DeWanna Bonner played 15 minutes. Alyssa Thomas played 16 minutes. Tiffany Hayes played 12 minutes. Rebecca Allen played 29, and Natisha Heidemann played 27. Then on the bench, they ran 4 bench players. What was her? Leah Brown. Leah Brown played 26. Dejanay played 31. Ty Harris played 33. And Olivia Nelson-Adota played 35. Obviously, that was with Bree Jones out. She tore her Achilles last year. So I'm not expecting Steph to play Connecticut starters into the second half at all. Like, if there is any of them that will, it would be one of the guards. But with them having guards on the bench, I just don't expect them to play very much. Yeah, it's a wild one. It is going to be a wild one. Nat Howard, Ingsler, or Izzy. For me, it's Izzy. I'm most confident in her minutes. I know she's going to play over 30 minutes. Normal starters for the Liberty. So nothing crazy there. Thoughts on Mac, second half smash spot? Yep. I think Mac makes for a solid tournament play, especially on the late slate or after hours on FanDuel. Her minutes have been ticking up a bit, and her price isn't the worst, 5,700. 23 and 20 minutes in the last two games. Obviously, 20 minutes, 22 and a half fantasy points. She can get there, even if she's only going to get 20 minutes, but I could see her playing even more. I could see like 25 to 27 minutes for Natasha Mack. Must plays for me, it's just Kalani Brown, Sydney Colson, and Tina Charles. Those are my three favorite plays on the slate. Yep. I had the first lineup I built this morning was like all the Dallas, and I was like, that's a little too much. Let's reel it in a little. But yeah, I love Dallas tonight. I really think Dallas will play their starters. It's what they do. Like the games that they did not play their starters very much, they got the doors blown off of them. Like New York had them dead to rights after a quarter. The backup aces will not do that. Now the aces will score on them because Dallas's defense is terrible. So if this game's competitive, I think the Dallas Stars nuke the slate. I really do. And that's why I'm extremely high on them. Yep. Grayer Canada is a great pivot off Ryan Howard. I don't think Canada or Alicia Gray is going to be near as popular as Ryan Howard, or Tina Charles is going to be extremely popular, as she should be. But, I mean, there's good leverage in that Atlanta game. Like, Alicia Gray looks great. Jordan Canada looks great. There's good leverage plays in the Chicago game. I think Rachel Banham will get some ownership, assuming she starts again just because she shot the lights out the last two games. I think that's a mistake. Satu or Nat, for me, it's Satu. I have no issues if you want to play Natasha Howard. It really, like Natasha Howard is going to play the small ball five, so her minutes might be a little bit more secure than Satu, but I just don't know how anyone on the Aces is going to stop Satu Sabli. Like, best of luck to you. Jackie Young does her best, and Jackie's one of the best defenders in the WNBA. Is Maddie done? Nope. She'll be out there tonight for sure. Thoughts on NECA? I just don't trust the minutes. I don't think she's going to play enough to really get there. There's just like the spin ups that I'm considering is Dallas, Atlanta, and like Chicago, maybe some Washington mid range, but Dallas and Atlanta are the spin ups I'm after, and then just leaving salary. Highest projected spend ups, Tina Charles and the Dallas girls. Does Howard have a better matchup than Enrique, assuming some of New York is captain minutes? Yeah. Howard will get Benaj Laney for as long as Laney plays. The deal is, like, Howard's just going to shoot it. Like, the usage is crazy in a player like her. She's going to take 15 to 20 shots if they're falling or not. So, and then it just comes down to, like, how long is Benaj Laney going to play? But it's tough not to play Enrique. Like, upside-wise, like, obviously Ryan Howard is safer because Enrique, we just don't know. Like, Trammell may pull the main starters and finally play J.C. Sheldon with Sevgi Uzin together, and Enrique is not near as good of a play. But it's hard not to want to play Enrique, especially if she's going to be low owned. 10.5K utility, Enrique Gunbowale. I think she's 10-4. Yep, Enrique Agumba. Oh, no, Tina Charles. I would go Tina. If you don't have Tina, I would play Tina. If you do, I would play Enrique. Sykes and Atkins thoughts. I think they're fine. I wonder, like, if this one game was just like a farce, like 32 minutes for Sykes, 41 for Atkins. then back to 24. I just don't know what to expect minutes-wise. If they're going to play big minutes, cool. Like, yeah, I would have some interest. They're playing Indy, who doesn't play defense, but I just don't trust the minutes. So I think you can take shots on them in tournaments, but I think the best thing to do is only play Chicago or Atlanta in these first 3 games and save all your spots for these late games that could just cause chaos. Because Minnesota could rock out a crazy starting lineup and you'll want pieces from them. Or like we could get crazy news like from the Aces who starts. Like you'll want to be able to make pivots off that. You'll want to have extra salary for that. So I'm just not going to have a lot of plays from these first 3 games. It's really hard for me to play Sykes after she's just crushed me these last couple games. Howard, Colson, Gray, Coffee, Gus, Brown, Charles, Fanderline. I would not play Coffee. I would not play Coffee. I would go to like Queen Egbo, go somewhere or like get up to like a Izzy Harrison. But I would not play Nia Coffee. She's not going to play enough to matter. But everything else, I'm in on. I don't mind that at all. Arike or Gray? Arike for me. Technically, they do. Like if they were to lose and the Aces were to win, the Aces would be the 3 seed. But I imagine Connecticut wins. Like Chicago has packed it in. I imagine Connecticut just wins and it doesn't matter. But yes, they technically do have to win to keep the 3 seed. Thoughts on Hines Allen smash bot without Collier, or will she be limited? I'm worried that she's going to be limited, but if I knew she wasn't, she would look amazing because she's been playing out of her mind with Minnesota. But I will say, if Dorka is ruled out, I will really, really have to consider Misha Hines Allen because that's one less big. Her and they're not going to play Alana Smith a lot, so Misha Hines Allen would probably have to play a ton. So that's something we need to keep a pin in just in case if Dorka is ruled out. Skylar Diggins-Smith, I don't really want to go there. I just don't trust the minutes for really any of them. Like she's been playing huge minutes. I think they look for a way for her to get a little bit of rest. They are locked into the 5 seed. They have no reason to play their starters the full game. All right, so there's our starters for the Sky. It is Lindsey Allen, Rachel Banham, Oni Inwer, Izzy Harrison at the 4, and Bree Turner at the 5. So normal starters are what I was expecting from them. So Ryan and Izzy or Satu and Gray. I think safety-wise, Ryan and Izzy by far. Upside is probably with Satu and Gray, but there's a lot of upside in Ryan and Izzy. And like both of them are going to play low to mid 30s minutes. So I'd probably lean that route. Caitlin Clark, not for me tonight. No, I think she only plays the first half. I just don't see them pushing their starters whatsoever. They're locked into the 6th seed. So I'm out. Yep. Kate Martin's going overlooked. So she's a good pivot. If you don't want to play Stephanie Colson, or if for some reason Colson and Martin start, Martin looks pretty good if she starts. Favorite spin ups, it's going to be Tina Charles, Ryan Howard. You got like Izzy in the mid range, and then the Dallas Stars. Those are really the only spin ups that I'm really considering. Favorite value 3.7K or under. What's 3.7? So you just missed out on Colson. It's probably like Queen Egbo, Diamond Miller if she starts. Kate Martin looks pretty good. Then you got Peely at 3K. She should get extended run. But overall, right now, my favorites would be one of the Aces players, like Queen Egbo or Kate Martin. I think both of them are in line to play over 20 minutes. And like there's a lot of usage to go around. So I really like the Aces value. 10.8K forward, and I have Tina already. So you just missed out on Satu. Probably just leave salary and play someone like Natasha Howard, or just leave a lot of salary and play like a Ingsler or Izzy Harrison. But that's where I'd be at on that. I have 9,700 left. Gray, Emily, or leave a bunch of salary with Izzy. I think it would be Gray or Izzy for me. I think they're going to play mid-30s minutes. Probably a slight lean to Izzy, just because, like, last couple games, she shot the ball terribly, but she is active on offense. 5 of 15. This game here where she come off, or where she started, was in foul trouble. 5 of 15, 5 of 13, 4 of 14. So she's not shot the ball well. If you catch her where she has a good shooting game, she's going to have a big game. Kalani, Kate Martin, or Kalani, Kate Martin for sure. What about playing Arike, Satu, Nat, Kalani? It's pretty rich. But if Dallas plays their starters normal run, you're going to be up near the top. It just depends, like, how risky you want to be. Like, if they limit their starters, you kissed $15 goodbye. Ranked Dallas studs by fantasy points: Arike, Satu, Nat. Is Peely too deep? Need to see what they kind of do with their starting rotation. I think she's going to play close to 20 minutes. I'm not crazy about her, but I mean, there's value everywhere. I don't want to, like, lead people down the wrong path with all this value. I just have no clue what to really expect. So if Peely's going to play 20 minutes, like, yeah, if she hits her shot, she can get there. It's really tough, but I do think she's in play. Dantas, she's my favorite on Indy. I just don't really want to go there. I'm just not confident. A half of Dantas, like 16 to 20 minutes, is going to be enough to really push her to the top. What player? Probably Arike. Like, if I had to guess, it would be like Arike or like a Ryan Howard, like someone that's going to shoot it a lot. Ingsler looks fine. She's solid for her price point. Already playing Arike and Sablé doesn't make sense to play Gustafson. I don't think so. Kalani Brown, for me, is like arguably the best play on the slate for me. Her and Sydney Colson are my two favorite plays on the slate. So I don't think I would go there. I just think Kalani Brown's going to play a ton. Misha Hines-Allen or Kalani for me. But we do need to see if Dorka's out. It would make me like Misha Hines-Allen a lot more. But right now, I'm all on Kalani Brown. Egbo or Peely? Egbo for me. She looks really good if she's going to get like low to mid 20s minutes. Egbo looks pretty good. Someone just said it, but yeah, I mean, that's what I built first thing this morning, and I pivoted off of it. So good luck. That's the first thing I built. I'm all over Dallas, so I just didn't want to play all four of them. But I have no issues with it. I kind of dig it. I already know what you're playing, though. Could you play the top four? Yep. I think on the late slate for sure. Like, I hate that the contests are so bad on the late slate. That's the only thing. But yeah, you can absolutely play the four together on the late slate. Let's see here. Almost at lock for these early games. Let me make sure all my lines are good. Oh, man. I don't know if I really want to do that. I'm debating playing Ingsler on FanDuel. I don't think I want to. I think I want to leave room just in case Misha Hines-Allen gets the bump. If Dorka's out, Misha Hines-Allen looks really good. So, not playing Ingsler. I hope you guys enjoy this slate. Like, this is one of the fun ones. If we get it right, we're going to smash. Like 100%. It's going to be a lot of fun. But it's been a fun year. I am sad to see it end. Izzy or Satu straight up. Izzy is a lot safer. Satu has nuked the slate ceiling, though. That's the only thing I will say about that. If you're looking for safety, like if you just want to cash, Izzy's going to play mid-30s minutes. Has some upside herself, but she doesn't have Satu Sabali upside. Izzy or Kalani? For me, it's Kalani. I'm super confident that Kalani Brown's going to play 30 minutes. She just has to. Like they will sit Natasha Howard before they sit Kalani Brown. Then they have no other person to play the 5. So I think Kalani Brown will play 30 minutes no matter what. Gabby or Nat, which is a GPP play. Gabby Williams, I would go Natasha Howard. If that's Natasha Howard, I would go Nat. I'm not confident Gabby sees enough run to get there. My wife said, oh, you're listening? Yeah. Hello. That's awesome. I'm just not expecting Gabby to get enough run. I just don't believe they're going to play into the second half. All these teams that don't have anything to play for, they may get one rotation to start the second half, but I just don't believe they're going to play full run. They have absolutely zero reason to. If they do, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'll live with that. I'll live with being wrong, but I just don't see them getting enough run. All right, let's check out some ownership. Okay, Izzy Harrison, 17%. Ryan Howard, 24%. Tina Charles, 55%. And those are the only players I have from these early games. So let's roll through here and see if we can find. All right, Brianna Stewart, 8%. Alyssa Thomas, 21%. Alyssa Thomas. Okay. Caitlin Clark, 22%. Oh, baby. This is looking good, guys. This is looking good. Bree Turner, 14%. Already said those. Ingsler, 10%. Caitlin Clark, 20% is wild. Wild. There's no reason for her to play the second half. Brittany Sykes, 5%. That makes no sense whatsoever. I'm going to need to be right. One time for the one time. Rachel Bannum, 17%. So not as owned as I thought she was, or thought she was going to be. Not a lot else I'm seeing, so that's probably about all. Ariel Atkins, 11%. Yep, 3% Baby Sabali. Don't mind that. If they, let's say JJ only gets 2 rotations and Baby Sabali plays 25 minutes, she's going to smash 6,100. This is a slate I wish I was a 150 maxer. This would be like a wet dream for 150 maxers. Personally, just my thoughts, just because there's so many players that I wanted to play, but I have a pretty condensed rotation of players tonight. So I'm hoping I'm right, and we'll see if I'm wrong or not. Yep, I cannot believe Caitlin Clark is over 20%. Ryan Howard under 20% on FanDuel. Oh, my Lord. Oh, man. Hold on. I didn't even look at FanDuel. Also, guys, I don't know if you guys have iPhones or not. I just did the new iOS, 18 update. You can make your apps giant now. And you can make where it's dark mode. Oh, my God. They made that for me. Like 100% for me. I'm a nerd when it comes to like dark mode and stuff like that. All right, let's see on FanDuel. Ryan Howard, 10%. What the hell? Izzy, 10%. Tina Charles, 40%. So Jordan Canada, 5%. What are we doing? I should have played more lines. Yeah, great. That's insane. That's insane. So you got almost 20% discount if playing Alicia Gray or Jordan Canada instead of Ryan Howard. Yeah, I'm glad someone stuck to 20 max. I thought about doing it. I just knew like if I got in the stream and got started and shit hit the fan, like I would be screwed. I just wouldn't be able to make any pivots. So I'm gonna have to figure out how like to make it easier on me because next year I'm going to play high stakes and I'd like to get into more MME mindset as well. Yep, Alicia Gray, 7%. That is great ownership for her. Yeah, I'm old. Yeah, true. Dude, I get excited for stuff like that. Like dark mode, I pay $10 a month for Discord Nitro. So I can like change my background because they have just light, dark, and then the midnight. Midnight's okay, but they have different options. Like I'm a big nerd when it comes to that. Like that's my kind of stuff. Yeah, like this ownership is bad. It's pretty bad. So if Connecticut starters play 15 to 20 minutes, New York starters play 15 to 20 minutes, and Indy starters play 15 to 20 minutes, oh boys, it's going to be fun. Good luck, all. Thanks for the. I am more than happy to help. I appreciate everybody tuning in and watching them, coming and hanging out in the streams. It's been a lot of fun. We'll still have videos for the postseason. I'll still do live before locks for the postseason slates. And then probably after WNBA, I'll take a couple weeks off and then get into some other content on YouTube. I know I will do some underdog draft live streams. I'll have videos for that. I'll have probably some MMA, college football, NFL videos coming out as well. But yeah, it's been a fun year. Like I've really, really enjoyed this year. Yep, dark mode for Discord. It's pretty cool. Like the midnight is dark, but you need to pay for Nitro because they have so many other extra options. It's really cool. I've loved MMA. Yep. Yep. I did MME a little bit earlier this year, but it was just too much with the streams. The streams were taking like I couldn't focus on editing lineups during the stream, so it really put a damper on MME. Hold up now. Yeah, I'll do some college football content for sure once WNBA is over. It's just there's so much work that goes into college football. It's tough. So, but I'll definitely have some stuff going on until we get WNBA back next year. But yeah, you definitely need to get on Discord, and I think it's just Discord, and then you click like on like your profile. Then you go to your settings, and you can scroll down to appearance, and you see all the themes. Like they have one that's called Crimson Moon, and it's like red and black. It's like a dark red. It's the best one. My eyes are terrible though, so I have to put like one of the non-UV or whatever screen protectors on my phone, or else I'll just get like an immediate headache staring at my phone. And then I have to have dark mode. If an app doesn't have dark mode, I won't use it. Last one for me is Alicia Clark in play. I wouldn't go there. I'm just not confident the players that are in the normal rotation for the aces play the entire game. I think they see 2 rotations in the first half and then 1 rotation to start the third quarter, equaling out to right around 20 minutes for Alicia Clark, Kia Stokes, and Tiffany Hayes. My worry, though, I do want to mention, is with Kia Stokes or Megan Gustafson. One of them will get extended. One of them will not. So that's why I'm not personally playing either of them, but one of them you'll get the short end of the stick. They've both been starting recently, so it's really hard to guess which one it's going to be. I would just much rather play Queen Egbo, who I know is going to play mop-up duty at the end. Oh, man. I saw they were doing that showdown, and I was like, they could not have picked a worse game to put the showdown on. Let's look at it, though. I think if you're for the LA side, the safest play for sure is Rakia Jackson. Then I think it's probably we need to see starters for Minnesota. If Minnesota sits Dorka, I think Misha Hanzalin would look amazing. I think you can play Lee Uru. I think Dearica Hamby's pretty safe, but I just don't know what to make of the Sparks. Like, I'm personally not playing that showdown. I just don't like playing Spark showdown slates, and I can't do it. It's rough. Now, if Dorka's out, like, Misha Hanzalin looks amazing. Nat Howard, Meg, or Mac for not slate. Oh, man. Upside Nat Howard, safety probably Mac, because I know that Phoenix has already said they are going to limit BG. So, Dorka ruled out. Oh, I did not see that. Let's check here. I haven't seen any. Let's search. Dorka, Uhas. Yep, there it is. Rolled out for Thursday. So, links, 3 that are out. Nafisa Collier, Kayla McBride. Oh, no, Dorka is... Wait. That's weird. One guy says out. One of them says questionable. Like, still questionable. All right, it looks like she's going to be out. RotoWire shared that. I don't really like RotoWire, but it looks like Dorka's out, which makes me Shine Town look a lot better. Is Diana in play? I mean, it really just depends. Like, how many minutes do you think she plays? I know she's going to shoot it when she's out there. So there's always like a nuke spot for her. She shot 13 times in 22 minutes against the Sparks last time out. I think this is about the minutes you're going to get out of Diana Taurasi. Right at low 20s minutes. And I think she's going to put up at least this many shots again. So if the shot's falling, I mean, it wouldn't shock me if she shoots like 10 of 20 in 24 or 25 minutes and goes for 35. Wouldn't shock me at all. Also wouldn't shock me if she scores like 15 to 20 fantasy points, and it hurts. But I think she's in play because it's her last home game, and I think she's going to want to put on a show. And I think since the game doesn't matter, the team will feed her the ball just like the Lakers did for Kobe's last game. They're just going to let her shoot it as much as she wants. She's a super selfless player, though, so she may just still be passing the ball anyway. She's out on DFS. Let's roll down here. I don't even know what she's priced at. So Dorka out for Thursday's game. There you go. She is officially ruled out. So Misha Hanzan looks pretty good. She looks pretty good. I definitely need to make some updates because I had Dorka projected to play like 15 minutes. So they're pretty thin on bigs. That's going to make some of their other bigs have to play a lot more, and I don't think they're going to play Alana Smith very much. I'm going to bump her to 22 minutes. I'm going to bump Misha Hanzalin up a few, and I'm going to bump Peely up a few, and Zandalasini up a few, and Diamond Miller up a few. Let's do the same over here. Oops. Hopefully that edited on both of them. And we'll see what it kind of does to those teams, and then we'll get out of here. So Dorka out, replace her. All right. So it does make me like Misha Hines-Allen quite a bit more. It does bump her quite a bit up on the point per dollar value. I think she's going to play high 20s minutes now. She looks pretty good. There's still quite a bit of plays better than her, especially on FanDuel. But on DraftKings, I think she's firmly in play now for sure. And there you go. That's why you don't play your starters. Kelsey Mitchell headed to the locker room with an ankle injury. No reason to play your starters whatsoever. And you have Kelsey Mitchell out there getting hurt in a meaningless game. So I hope it's not serious. That would be just catastrophic for their postseason hopes. But that's going to do it for me, guys. I just want to take a quick second, say thank you all. It's been awesome. Been an awesome year. Let's do it again next year. But I'll have videos out for the postseason slates. I'll be live before lock for those. But this is the end of the 2024 regular season. I hope people are up at the top of the leaderboard. If I'm not there, I hope you guys are there. But good luck to everybody, and we'll see you guys on Sunday for the WNBA postseason slate 1.